Welcome back to Endless Winter, and today we're checking out Part 5 in Justice League number 58. Now, so far we have the Frost King who has been unleashed, he's attacking the Earth, and all these Justice League members are dealing with this, right? Now, this issue focuses more on Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern. Now, we also follow the flashback sequence of the Viking Justice League, Black Adam, Hippolyta, Viking Prince, and actually Swamp Thing's dead now. He's destroyed, so we just got those three against the Frost King. How will this story continue? Well, we'll find out as we dive into this issue. We open in the 10th century, Arctic Circle, Greenland. We see Hippolyta and the Viking Prince. They're leading all these refugees into this one city that's covered by these gates. They're trying to save them from the Frost King. Now Hippolyta says, get them moving faster. We need everyone inside so we can bar the gates. Now, the Viking Prince goes up to her and says, for all the good gates will do. Now Hippolyta responds, if Adam's able to do at least delay the Frost King, we can fortify the stronghold and get the last of these refugees within the walls. Now, you see Hippolyta's forces, the Amazons, they show up. Now, she says, shield maidens, our enemy is nearly upon us, and we will be tested by him and his minions. But there are no others I'd rather have at my back, sisters. We are strong, we are fierce, we are warriors, and we will sell our lives dearly if we must. Now, Viking Princess, what if Black Adam does not return? If he's slain as well, what hope do you and I have? Hippolyta says, we yet live, John. That is the hope we have. Now, one of the Amazons say, there, approaching from the north. You see Black Adam. He makes it back. He's not even bruised. Now, Hippolyta says to him, what happened? Does the Frost King still pursue you? And Black Adam says, perhaps, but I provided a distraction for now. Hippolyta says, distraction? What did you do? And Black Adam smiles and says, what was necessary. I found the Frost King's family among the refugees. They told me who they were, who he was, or at least who he used to be, so I put them in his path. If there is any other man left, they can bring it out of him. Now, Viking Prince looks at him shocked, and Hippolyta says, you put innocence in front of that monster? And Black Adam says, I did what was necessary. Now, Viking Prince and Hippolyta run off. Viking Prince says, the Frost King isn't the only monster here. Hippolyta says, maybe we can still reach them. Now, that's when we see the family, the wife of the Frost King and the two children. The wife says, Edward, stop this madness, please. Are you still my husband, their father? Your family needs you. I need you for the memory of our son. Come back to us. Now, one of the children say, Papa? And we see Edward. He looks. He starts to turn back to good. Now, Viking Prince and Hippolyta show up. Viking Prince says, we can still get them away from him. Hippolyta says, wait, it's working. We might stop this without... But then we hear a Vusha, Krakoom, and we see the Black Adam. He shows and punches the Frost King through the forest. Now, Hippolyta shouts, Adam, no! Now, we shift to the present day. We see the Justice League, they're still trying to fight off all these ice creatures and the Frost King. This endless winter is upon the world. Now, we see Jon Stewart. He's flying around. Now, we see his family led by this one woman. This woman walks through this city, right? She's trying to get to safety and look for her husband. We see his ice creature shows up, tries to kill them, but Jon Stewart shows up and blasts the ice creature out of the way. He says, everybody's okay, besides being cold? I'll take you someplace safe, but we have to go now before more of those things notice us. Now the woman says, please help us, Green Lantern. I don't know where my husband, Michael, is. He was trapped at work when the blizzard hits. Jon Stewart says, just tell me where he works. Now we see him make it to Star Labs in Detroit. He blasts through the walls and we see the husband. He's being attacked by these ice monsters. Now, Jon Stewart saves him. He takes down these ice creatures with like this construct of a chainsaw. Takes him out. Now he goes up to this man. He says, any chance you have a wife named Leisha and 3 kids who would like to see their dad? Now, the man says, Leisha sent you. I honestly thought I'd never see any of them again. When the order to evacuate the plant came down, our crew couldn't get out in time. Then those things showed up, rampaging through the entire facility. We didn't try to hide from them ever since. Now, Jon Stewart starts to fly off with this man. He says, your family's safe. Let's get you warm. Then we'll gather up anybody who's left. We make it to this one building. Now, Jon Stewart gets this man back inside, and he's actually reunited with his wife. This family's back together, and Jon Stewart's happy about that. Now, the man says, how do we thank you? And Jon Stewart says, you thank me by taking care of your family and taking care of the other people around here. That's how we beat this. Now you see Jon Stewart makes it to the Hall of Justice in Washington, D.C. It's covered by ice. He makes it in, and we see Detective Chimp. Now, Jon Stewart says, honey, I'm home, and Detective Chimp responds, you know, I might be a chimp, but I can recognize creaky jokes when I hear them. If I'm gonna fill in on monitor duty, John, the least you can do is bring your best material. Now, John says, I'm not even a dad, Bobo, and all I've got are dad jokes. What's going on here? Now, Bobo responds, well, I don't know if you heard about this, but there's a blizzard going on, pretty frigid. One of the things that jumped out at me is the number of scientific facilities getting attention from those ice monsters. Star Labs, Stag, Dayton Industries. Now, they look at this all these monitors, right? And we see all these heroes, the Teen Titans, Flash, Superman. They're all fighting out against the ice monsters around the world. Now, Bobo says, seems like more than a coincidence. Other than that, everybody's out there fighting the good fight, but I wouldn't exactly say we're winning. Now, John says, I'd say we're barely holding our own. You know, it's interesting that you mentioned scientific locations. I was just at Star Labs facility in Detroit that got torn apart by ice creatures. I can take over, Bobo. I appreciate you staying in. Now, Bobo gets up. He says, it's cool. It's not like I was gonna volunteer to go out and shovel. Keep an eye on those research facilities. I'm not sure what, but something's up with that. I'm going downstairs to get a drink. Want me to bring you back a little something? John says, thanks. No, I'm good. Now, Bobo says, alright, one more thing before I go. This guy's gonna be a problem. He points at Black Adam. Now, we see Black Adam in Condog. He's fighting out against these ice creatures. He says, destroy them all. Condog gives no quarter. Anyone seen this, know that Black Adam will protect this nation from this crisis at all costs. If Earth's self-appointed protectors, the Justice League, are unable to keep the world safe, my heroes now step in and do what needs to be done. Now, John looks. He sits down. He says, well, Black Adam, always a delight. Yeah, I guess our quartet of villains didn't stay locked up very long. We see Black Adam, he's working with Catman, Rampage, Icicle, all these villains. Now, that's when we hear this alarm. John says, what now? He goes outside and he sees this army of ice monsters. He wonders why they are all at the Hall of Justice. But then he sees the Frost King. Now, Jon Stewart says, Justice League, if anyone's picking me up, we have company at the hall. The Frost King is here. Now, he forms all these constructs and starts attacking all these ice monsters. Now, he attacks the Frost King with his construct of a sword. They have a sword battle. He says, we've been looking for you. Now, he continues to fight against the Frost King, but he's hit back into the snow. But Superman catches him. Superman says, easy, John. We got your back. We see all the Justice League have arrived, and Batman's in the sick costume. Now, John says, that was quick, and Flash says, yeah, well, we get around pretty fast as long as somebody picks up Batman. By somebody, I mean me. I picked up Batman. Now, Batman says, we stand together. We fight together. If it comes to it, we fall together. They go to attack the Frost King. Wonder Woman says, John, leave this horde to us. Flash says, you go for the big guy. Now, they attack all these ice monsters, but Jon Stewart goes to attack the Frost King. You are scrack as they clash swords. But that's when Jon Stewart says, we have him. He then slashes through the Frost King with his big axe. And you hear a boom, and the Frost King is taken down, supposedly. Jon Stewart goes up to the Frost King. He says, he was ice. How's that possible? Batman goes up to the ice. It wasn't actually the Frost King. Batman says, because this wasn't actually the Frost King. It was just an avatar, just ice like everything else. But why was it sent here? To test us? And more importantly, where is the real Frost King? They make it back to the headquarters, and Wonder Woman says, still no sign of Aquaman. Batman says, I think we have to assume Arthur's dealing with things in Atlantis. Jon Stewart says, we have to confront the Frost King together. No more fighting this separately. Superman says, John's right. We can't fight the storm. The only way we're going to put an end to this is to defeat him. Now, Bobo says, "Hey, I appreciate you guys letting me sit in, but do you have any idea how to find this guy?" Now, we go to the heart of the storm, and then we see the Frost King. He's on his throne. He says, "Where are they? I know your treachery. You took them from me, took them from the ice. Yet I am the storm, and the storm is everywhere." Now we go to Gotham, Stag Industries Research Facility. Those 3 people who are under the ice that Sebastian Stagg actually got are actually the Frost King's family. Now, Frost King locates them. He says, "There, you're keeping them from me, but nothing will stand in my way." And that's how we conclude Endless Winter Part 5. So guys, that was Justice League number 58, Endless Winter, Part 5. Now this issue was written by Andy Lanning and Ron Mars. Now the writing, okay, first off the flashback sequence, we didn't really see a lot, right? Yes, we see Black Adam pretty much distracted the Frost King and then came in and went to fighting mode again. That's all that happened. Now it was still a solid opening, but not as good as the other issues. Now what continues is we see Jon Stewart, he narrates like half the issue as he saves his family from this endless winter. And I really like Jon Stewart's character, and it's cool to see him get the spotlight here. Yes, it does feel like filler, and this whole event has been pushing like the family theme. Some of the issues doing it better than others, like the Aquaman issue of this event was really well done. The whole theme of family was done very well with like Aquaman, Mara, and Andy. Where here, the part with like Jon Stewart and this other family just felt very filler in my opinion. Now, it's not a bad scene, it's not like a bad section of the issue, because I still really like Jon Stewart's narration, he's a great character, but it could have been a little better. Now, from there, we see the Frost King show up, but then the Justice League show up, they fight him off, and that turns out not to be the Frost King. Again, more filler. All it pretty much pushes is, okay, the Justice League shouldn't be fighting separate anymore, they should come together. Which, I don't know why they were separate in the first place. Like, come on. We have this whole, like, endless winter coming upon the earth, and you decide to fight off separate. I get they have their own cities, and it's a way to push the storyline a little farther, like, make it bigger. But, in my opinion, the only thing that pushed this issue was, okay, now the Justice League actually have to start acting like the Justice League. So, that was kind of like, eh. The fight sequence was still kind of cool, but it wasn't really detailed. Now, the end of the issue, we find out those 3 people under the ice are Frost King's family, which is interesting. We get a motive for Frost King, which adds to his character a little bit, but he's still not a 3-dimensional villain. Hopefully he comes better in the coming issues. But yeah, I guess overall the writing this issue was kind of standard. It wasn't that great. It was decent. It wasn't a bad issue, but it could be a little better. Now the artwork by Zermanico is okay. Usually I like this person's artwork, alright? This person's artwork was on the Doom Metal crossover. It looked amazing. But here, I just don't feel like it really fits the winter atmosphere, and it looks a little rushed. And I can see that because all the time restraints, they getting this whole event out in 1 month, so I can see it being kind of rushed. Now, is the artwork bad? No, it's still solid, but it's weaker compared to the other issues. But yeah, I guess overall, this is one of the weaker issues in this Endless Winter event. Still okay, it's not a bad issue, but if you don't want a filler issue, then kind of skip this issue, because this issue is really filler, alright? Because next issue will probably start out with the Viking Justice League still fighting out against the Frost King, so you didn't miss anything there. And then Jon Stewart saving a family, it's nice, but doesn't really contribute to the story. And the Justice League fight out against the Frost King, and then finding out that it's actually not him. Again, a bunch of filler that doesn't really need to be there. But yeah, I'm going to give this issue a 6.5 out of 10. It kind of misses the mark for me. You guys tell me your thoughts on this issue down below. Rate it from 1 to 10. And if you like the video, give a big thumbs up. New to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Endless Winter video. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.